Never stop, ever again. Don't make me tell you again. I'm just a competitive man. Better when I got the pen in my hand. Trying to get set up and better my chances of being a veteran. Get them again. Let them pretend that they've been better until we together to set up a plan. Stop, ever again. Don't make me tell you again. I'm just a competitive man. Better when I got the pen in my hand. You make it set up and better my chances of being a veteran. Get them again. Let them pretend that they've been better until we together to set up a plan.
This is for the men showing up, the dads growing up, and anyone rewriting what masculinity can look like from the ground up. I'm Calm.
My name's Hogan.
And we're here to sort of have a chat today and introduce ourselves and what we're about, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and hopefully give you guys some insight on why you should listen. This is our first episode.
And I'm excited.
I'm nervous, but very excited to get this going right. Because, put a lot of work in so far, haven't we?
Yeah, you have. I have done nothing but dream about it and talk about it, but you have done so much foundational work for this. So I'm excited to see this come to fruition.
You're already selling yourself short. Now, if anyone wondering how this started, Hogan had a dream. It was a cool dream. And then he just kept planting seeds. Every time I saw this guy for months, it was, oh yeah, I was just thinking about doing this, eh? And I was like, oh, that sounds neat. Straight over my head. That's cool. I'll definitely listen, right? Here we are. What was it like sort of getting to here for you?
Well, because I've done a podcast before, a 4-part podcast on finances, I sort of done it before, and I was like, oh, I'd like to talk about this because this is the new thing in my life, and I'm super excited about it. And yeah, I don't know, I just want to see this succeed, and I hope it helps people. That would be one of the big things. Someone comes up, oh, your podcast helped me do this and helped me get past this in my life, and then that's great.
I sort of came into this thinking it could be a cool way to, kill some time and chill. Work with Sounds Good. Thank you very much, Sounds Good, for the studio.
Shout
Evolution
out,
Beauty. Those guys have really come to save us. Maxi, Summer, if you guys end up listening, I know you don't have time. We look, when this idea came up, I wasn't really sure if we were the people for it, if I was the person to be here, or if the value in our perspectives was worth doing this.
Or people listening, yeah, I
But
can see that.
The more times we've gone backwards and forwards, and the more time we spent here, there's a heap of bloopers. I can't show them because I delete them because I don't want to see them ever again, of us just trying to figure out where we're at. The more I realized that right now, in this space, we can stand up and show people that they're not alone, be it in business, be it in life, be it in your journey to become a father, or even just a masculine member of society where you stand up and take action. At least that's where I'm at.
Even not just focused on men, but even women viewing masculinity in today's world. I know a lot of the Gen Z and that tend to call it toxic now, but we're just trying to bring that back and solve some problems with traditional masculinity. I think that's the key to this. So.
Or at least traditional for you. I must admit, I'm more leaning towards the modern format. I know we'll have some back and forth there where I'm going,
sure.
Hey, it's okay to be a little gentle sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think every man knows they hit a point sometimes where they're just like, I can't deal. I'm angry. This is fucked.
And I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. But I'll put my opinion out there, and I want to hear what other people have to say, and I'm happy to change my opinion if you can sell me on it. So, yeah.
So I did way too much prep for this. If ever you want to see a horrendous amount of neuroticism in format, I have like all the questions noted down, a bunch of dot points here. Hogan, he has got a quick wit and a sharp mind, and he's got his own prep just in his head. I'm impressed. It ain't happening for me. But I've had a few questions asked, and the more people I've talked to about this, the more the same couple of things have been reflected. And one that got asked by a few of our friends and a few people around us is, who are you to be asking these questions? Like, who are you beneath the job titles, the roles? Who are you as a man?
Who am I as a man? Good question. Well, I'm a father. I'm a son. I'm all these different things. Oh my God, we should so do that again. But
You're giving me roles.
who
Who are you?
am I?
I can go into a bit of detail about
For
what I
sure.
have
Do
written down,
that so I can bounce off you.
because I'm Mr. Over prepared over here.
Yep.
I took a bit of time and I've asked a few people and really considered it deeply. And up until not all that long ago, in the grand scheme of things, probably 6-7 months ago, I would have said there's nothing. You take away the roles I gave myself or others gave me, who I was, there was nothing. My value was what I could do for others or provide or earn or fix. But it's not that way. I'm someone who's going to show up, who's going to carry on, who's going to be there when it's messy. And I'm going to figure it out. And for me, there's nothing more important for a man than the ability to go, hey, this isn't working, but I'm going to figure it out.
Mm.
Because that's who I am. And I think that's worth other people considering too. That if you're out there struggling, like, you've still got to show up. And that's who you are if you can internalize that or become that. You can stand up and go, you know what? This is hard. But I'm not going to cry and say it's hard and do nothing about it.
Well, yeah, men don't get that choice.
No, no, they don't. But some do.
Some do, yeah.
A scary amount of men today, they hit that brick wall where they go, I can't handle this.
Mm-hmm. And
And
it's moved back to parents' places. It's taking exes back because it's an easy, quote unquote, easier life. It is even the dark road of going down the road of suicide and things like that. So, or even just drugs in general to escape reality. So, look, reality's here, and we all have problems we face. And the big Dwayne Johnson said it the best: when you have a problem, you put your back against the wall, so you've got nowhere to run, and we tackle this problem. So,
I mean, I know there's days I've woken up and gone, I don't want to do it. I want to lay in bed. I want to drink. I want to have junk food. I don't want to show up. But every time I've gone past that and shown up for myself and the people around me has been a better day.
for sure.
And
I definitely have those days too. So you're not alone.
yeah, we were talking about that earlier. We were talking about us. Neither of us are in great shape. But if you saw me from 7 months ago, 20 kilos ago, it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw you from only a couple of years ago, I'm sure if we went and found photos to now, it's night and day. It's important everyone knows that we're here not just to show up for us, but also to make a place where we can maybe all show up, to show you where we've come from and where we're going.
Yeah, just trying to better ourselves, be better for the people in our lives. And yeah.
So I ask you again, who are you?
It's a great question.
We'll find that together then.
Yeah.
Let's find it. Now, I've got a bunch of questions.
Yep.
Because I've done the prep. What messages about masculinity did you grow up with?
Messages.
How about this? What does being a man mean to you?
above all, protect and provide. You know, I'm a family man, so, and I haven't really delved into this before I had a family. So I was, I was a bit of a, you know, delved into drugs and just hanging out with all types of different people. Uh, some better than others, obviously. Um, but it wasn't until I had a family that I was about 26 when I remember asking myself, how do I become a better man? And um, had my wife, had my 2 kids, and I was like, all right. Well, I had 1 kid at the time, but yeah, how do I become a better man? And I literally typed that into Google, right? How to become a better man. And I stumbled across this thing called Stoicism and began reading it, and just become absolutely obsessed with it. And then started putting small practices into my life, like just one thing at a time, and just slowly, yep, do this, do this, do this. And just incrementally, my life just got better and better and better. And the negatives in my life were just slowly dissipating. So what it means to be a man, I don't know, but I like being happy, and to get rid of the bad days. I'm following this little plan, and or this religion, if you'd call it that, and it's making my life better day by day. What have you done to make your life better? I'm sure you've had dark times.
I've done a lot. I've sort of gone the opposite way. I'm doing the therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Can recommend if you can't just hold it together. Doing the steps that people say you should do. And none of them really started helping at all until I took a moment. I was playing with my son. I looked at him and I went, there's no point in my life that I don't want to show up for you the way that you need. Whether that's being able to sit down on your level and talk to you, whether that's being able to pick you up and carry you, protecting you, providing. And while I'm still searching, I'm happy to share my journey. That's why we're here, isn't it? Our journeys into business, into being fathers, into being men, into improving,
Mm-hmm.
into hopefully helping others improve. One thing that has really made a significant difference in my outlook, and even now it's getting better, is the word kaizen. And
Explain.
it roughly translates to continuous improvement.
Okay.
Atomic Habits, if ever you've read that book, fantastic book, talks about 1% every day. I know you've said that to me.
Yeah, but I didn't get it from the book, but yes. Yeah.
But that idea of 1% every day doesn't mean that you're 1% better every day.
No.
It means that you put in that little bit extra to try and be better every day, or try and get the most out of every day. And internalizing that has really started to shift my life.
Oh, good.
Not always for the better. You don't always progress in a straight line. But
No.
we're here. I mean, for anyone who knows anything about what it takes to get a studio and the fun of microphones and cameras, and you would not believe the hours we've spent fighting with software to try and record something this simple. I don't know.
This is an all-day affair.
I'd hate to say that I'm technologically inept, but it's possible. I might have just been failing for 20 years and getting lucky.
I look to you for my tech questions, so yeah, what hope have I got?
We don't have a chance, but thank God we got Max from Sounds Good. He is going to come and save our lives, but he's sort of following his own journey right now. In fact, that's where we're off to after this. We're going to go celebrate with him. We might talk about that one day.
Yeah.
Here's one. This question hit me a lot harder than it should. I probably will go into my journey in its own episode maybe, or we might allow some time for it. But the concept of where have you struggled to live up to your version of masculinity? Or how have you struggled to be the man you want to be?
Oh, I struggled. Just, you have to wake up and realize that providing and protecting means you have to go to work. You got to do the hours. And when I was a truck driver, we were doing early starts and, finishing in that mid-afternoon, and you've been in a truck all day, you're mentally exhausted, and then, hey, you got to show up for your family. So I've sort of come up with this thing, and I don't know, maybe I should go into this a bit in more detail later, but I just view it as hats. So when I'm waking up for work, I put my work hat on. I go out and I do the best I can for work because I'm providing. So I'm doing everything I can do to become better at work. So I'm a less risk to be sacked. So I want to be the best person I can be at work. And then, hey, work finishes, I swap hats. I put my family hat on. Boom. Work doesn't matter now. I've done everything that I can do, the best of my ability there. Now I put this hat on. I am dad mode. I am husband mode. I am me mode. And I go home and I be the best I can be there. So, have you got something similar like that? Or I find I'm a bit almost robotic when I say it like that, but it's true.
I like that. I think it's a fantastic way of looking at it. I must admit, because of the nature of my normal work that I do and things I've done over the years, work doesn't really stop when I get home. It's very often you have your phone nearby in case you get called out, or you might be doing paperwork for some legal documentation, or you've got to double check a standard or regulation to make sure that you're up to date. So it doesn't ever really go away. It doesn't stop. So I don't think I could handle that idea, but I'd like to. I'd like there to be more room in me to be able to go, no, work doesn't matter right now. I don't need to think 10 things at once.
That's interesting, because you were just saying, like, you had this, I'm really good at my job, which is fantastic. But then you're like, if I do this little tiny thing, what are you going to do? Sack me? We had that conversation before. So it's interesting that you still have that care about your job still, like, at home.
Yeah, I sort of hit the point where I'm burnt out, but also I've had a passion for it and for the parts of it that are worth doing. There's nothing like spending 9 hours at work and doing like an hour of something you feel is worthwhile. But that's been where I'm at for a decade. I've been doing the same job for a decade. When I ran my own business and had full-time clients or even part-time clients, that experience opened my eyes a lot more, I feel.
In what way?
It helped to expand my point of view on where we're at in such a way that if I put everything 100% into my work and I put everything into the business that I was running at the time, I couldn't deliver anything to my family at that time. There was nothing left. And it was definitely detrimental to them. And I think I really struggled in a lot of ways to learn that. And for me, maybe a little bit too late, in all honesty. But that doesn't mean it wasn't worth learning.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Our camera angles decided to have a lean because we touched the table and everything's just sort of jerry-rigged, but I'll fix that. While I fix that, I'll get you to have a think about this. And this one's, I sort of touched on my reasoning there, but what's really changed your understanding of what it means to be a man? What was that breaking point where you went, I have to show up?
Good question. In fact, it goes back to what I was saying before, just when I typed into Google how I was going to be a better man. So the struggle was that I started realizing that maybe Kate was viewing me differently. I wasn't the man that she not wanted to be with, but got with in the first place. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm the problem. So what do men do? They fix problems. So this was my attempt at it, and I like I said, I feel like I'm going down the right path with following the stoicism and all that sort of stuff, and just incrementally making my life better. And making my life better makes people around me's lives better. So it's like a butterfly effect. It just keeps going on. And I sort of shield away from bad things that happen. So, when you meet people and you have that gut instinct, you're like, oh, this isn't going to be a real good thing with me and you. So I'm not even going to remember your name. So, but yeah, I'm not going to see you again. But yeah,
it's a good call either. I don't remember names. I think for me, and mine was much more direct. When I became a father, or when I found out I was going to become a father, everything I'd done up until that news, every way I dealt with problems or lived, just didn't work anymore. I just shut down. And fatherhood didn't really care about who I thought I was. It asked me to step up and become someone new. And it took me a long time to get there, and maybe too long in my case, but if anyone can learn from our own stories and maybe our experiences, I think it's worth it. And that's sort of part of why I feel like we're here. But not just that, like we've both done a large number of things. We've both met scores of people, experienced life. It's sort of, this is a space where we can share some of that.
For sure. Yeah, interesting when you brought up becoming a father. So I remember, we'll go into my life story another time, but like when I moved to Melbourne, hard to find a job and everything, and we were trying to get on Centrelink to sort of bring some money in. And I was doing some cash work, moving furniture, and there wasn't a whole lot, but I was like, quote unquote, house girl, and doing the cleaning and the cooking and everything like that. The traditional masculinity doesn't normally would do. Where was I going with that? It's in my head. But yeah, when I heard the news that Kate was pregnant, it sort of like lit a fire up under my ass and really kicked me into some other gear, because I've never not had a job since. And like I say, I have this drive to want to be unsackable when I go to work, because I have this thing in my head that like I must provide, so I must be better than my competition, and truthfully it's everyone else at that job site. So that's sort of the way I view it. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but yeah, I do find I work better as a solo person rather than in a team. I don't know what that's derived from. Maybe that's derived from football, because I have a theory. So I used to play school football, and the outcome of the game was dependent on everyone's efforts. And then I got into fighting, and fighting was generally 1v1, and it was only dependent on the effort that you put in, whether win or lose, and it was detrimental if you lost. So you didn't want to. And I think that's carried on into my work, where I don't, and especially with work, like not all everyone is going to put in the same effort as you. So that's sort of my take on it, and why I choose to work solo, driving trucks and doing what I got to do, picking up the extra load or whatever. So yeah, interesting talk, hey?
Does that transition into other parts of your life?
Yeah, everything. 'Cause I'm sort of competitive as it is. So are you?
Sometimes.
Yeah, it depends what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that I just don't care about in general.
Okay.
Like, for example, I ride a tiny, weird motorbike.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people are going to make fun of it. It's fun.
It
Suits
is what
me.
it is. It's a mode of transport. It's a cheap mode of transport. I can see the positives.
Dirt cheap. One of the things that sort of came up with this, and this is a question, I don't know if I even want to really touch on it too much, but what made this real for you? I know you had the dream, I know you had the drive, but what moment, because you've been talking about this for months, like we did the Sounds Good Festival together, and we put a long weekend in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we were there 80 hours over the 4 days or 90 hours over 4 days. Like, it was insane. What made it real? Because that was the moment where the fire was in your eyes, where you had that passion to me, where you were, this is something I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds good, Max. You're like, he's going to get on board. He's going to help. And then you went, I think you should get on board and you should help. That was the moment. It was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about sort of my reasoning for coming on board, but what was it that really lit that fire for you?
Can we duck into your reasoning first? I'd really love to hear it. I have mine. I do have mine.
My reasoning's pretty dark,
Okay.
but I was sitting there at home. My boy's only with me half the time. I'm getting divorced. Whole thing. I sat there and went, you know what? I've kind of let down my son as a father. Didn't make us a partner. And I went, if we can do this and help one other person, not avoid the same failures, but even if we can help people deal with those failures, that's it. It's worth it. Because if you ever end up in that situation, God forbid, there's like nothing. You've got masculinity podcasts that are all the so-called red pill. You got Rogan, Andrew Tate and such, where they're like, this is how you've got to be. But I never watched them and went, oh yeah, that makes sense. I always went, I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that's where I want to be. I don't know if that's for me. But then if you go any of the more softer ones I've seen, I went, oh, I don't know about that. That's I don't know if, crying at your ex-wife because, you weren't there for him is the answer. I sort of went, there's definitely something in the middle where you've got to rebuild yourself and stand up and be not a better version, but just be more maybe genuine or authentic to yourself. And then grab that and harden it. Because it's very easy to be swayed. There's so much media, there's so much garbage out there. It's so easy now to sit on social media and waste your life away. Sit on TikTok and watch crap.
For sure.
Porn makes it so easy to easily lull yourself into this false sense that you can get whatever you want without working for it. And I went, you know what? No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna study. I'm going to do therapy and better myself. And whatever it takes along that path, I'm going to show up. And then in not finding anything that could help me get to that conclusion, it took a lot longer than I thought it should. So I thought, this is the moment. This right now is where we're going to show up for this and for anyone that might need it.
Yeah, maybe we can, I don't know, all those rough little edges, smooth them down with conversations. So,
and there's so much more to it. Like, you've run businesses, you've done things that are incredible.
Oh, thank you. Don't make my head too big.
But on the other side of the coin, there's no ifs or buts. That there's always room to grow. And if I'm able to teach you some things, I look forward to learning. We're definitely going to disagree.
Oh, that's okay.
I look forward to finding that button that just, you go red and you want to flip this table. You're just like, I'm done. It's going to be a great episode. Stay tuned for that one, I guess. But yeah, that's sort of the thing. And that really ties in what I hope people will take away from this is a shift in perspective or just a willingness to maybe listen that you're not alone out there, whether it's in business, whether it's in finance, whether it's in how you live your life, whether you want to improve, how the sort of, you don't even have to be a man to be masculine, in all honesty.
No, not really, no.
What sort of traits you want to take away. You don't have to read. You don't have to study to gather the knowledge. You don't have to be continually force-fed self-help. You just need to be willing to listen and learn.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you sort of hope to give people from this, or that they will take away from this?
Take away from this? Yeah, well, even if it's just one thing, it makes the world a better place. You know, like I was thinking while you were telling your answer there that it's the thing that Rogan always says. You know, like we're in a world where what is it? Weak people make hard to. Oh my god, I'm stuffing this up so bad.
I think I know the quote. What was it? Strong people make
good times.
Good times make weak people.
Weak people make hard times. Hard times make strong people. And you know, we're at that point where we're going into hard times, and there is quite a lot of weak males around. And you know, if we can just change that trajectory to get this back into quote unquote easy times, but just keep the masculinity here without us all, you know, chopping our dicks off and turning trans and whatever else the bloody new trend is. I think we'll be on a good trajectory, a good road.
I was going to make a joke about how that offends me, and then I went, I don't think it actually does.
Even if it does, what are you going to do?
Maybe it's my turn to flip the table.
No, not
But
trying
no,
to. No,
I
not
get
trying
where
to
you're
start a
going.
fight, but like, you know, even just what is offensive? What's offensive? Like,
You know, we're going to do an episode on that.
oh, for sure, and I'm happy to.
I'm certain we're never getting sponsors, so it's fine. There shouldn't be ads.
But like, no, what is offensive? So, you know, you call someone a fairy. Words were spoken, and what is offense? Like,
One of the biggest things is I always thought of a lot of things people say. It's whether there's genuine malice. We're both Aussies. We live in redneck country in North Queensland. You can say whatever the hell you want to other people, but you're still going to go, hey, you want me to buy you a beer? You're still going to treat them like human beings. You're still going to be respectful. You're still going to understand that everybody's living their own life. Like I'm a good example. I'm pretty sure that camera moves because we touched the table.
Oh. I gotta get my hands. Let me get them back. Ugh.
It's all right. We will probably get a phone stand of some sort to fix this problem. We thought it was a great plan. I'm going to sound like terrible from here. But one of the things that sort of was an interesting thought, you talk to our parents' generation or our grandparents and they go, and they'll say racist things or blip, or they'll say things like they don't like the gays, they don't want them to marry or whatever like that. And it's just why? Like, how does it affect me? It doesn't matter. But it affects them. It's their lives. Are you offended by other people's lives? Do you think it matters what they want or what they do?
No, this is an interesting thing that even me and my mum have spoken about, and it was, you know, like when I was growing up, gays were, ew, like don't come around me, and then yeah, it's like you say now, like it doesn't affect me whatsoever. Just, you know, even if you start hitting on me, like, dude, not interested. See ya. Like,
I've been bought drinks.
Yeah.
God bless. Free drinks.
Now you know how the chicks feel.
Damn. It was kind of nice. I don't see what the problem is now.
I don't know. I think dudes can come on a bit strong sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, we got derailed there, but I like it. It's great. What kind of conversations did you want to bring here? Or what kind of conversations did you want to have? I'm going to touch this table and it's going to roll over the camera that I don't want to pick up again. So I'll stop touching the table. But what I wanted here was to have some of the conversations that people most want to avoid. The ones that are hard, the ones that are real, the ones that you say to a friend in passing and they look at you and go, oh, okay, that sucks. Or I don't really get it. The type of chats where you sit down and you go, here's a perspective that you may not like, but let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something I've learned the hard way that you may not want to hear. Here's a moment of masculinity that isn't loud and boisterous, but quiet and maybe misunderstood by some. And like, you've got a son.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've had that moment where you look at him and you go, I don't understand how to teach you this lesson, but you need to know this because it's going to sit with you for the rest of your life.
Mm.
Those are the conversations I want us to have here.
Yep.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm sort of open to telling my story, the lessons that I've learned, even some of the, the darker things that I've faced, and then my triumphs and tribulations in that as well. Like, I'd love to share it all. So, like I said, if it helps someone out there, then that's awesome.
Now, if ever you've gotten in a room with a microphone, a camera, and you're trying to flow and talk, I know, I
Yeah.
keep looking at it. It's all right. You and I both know right now, sitting here, this is kind of hard. It shouldn't be. But it's not as easy as it could be, is it? It's the flow, the cadence, what we're doing now. I want us to try and instill that flow and cadence in our audience.
Mhm.
The ability to go, hey, this is going to feel awkward. It's going to feel maybe a little exciting, but a little anxious.
Mm.
If we can make you feel that way listening, then you're taking something important from us.
Mm. Yep, 100%.
Now, on a much better note, let's take it back up because
Mhm.
we're going to get in trouble if we don't get out of here in a bit.
Mhm.
Long story short, it's a day for celebration. Something I'm really curious about, and something I guess I've thought about a lot, and I know you would have too, because you were talking about it earlier. I kind of want us to have a show where we have people sitting across. We talk about anything and everything that comes across. And I know we've got show notes for quite a few apps where we've got different people we're aiming to get in,
Mhm.
all walks of life, hopefully growing, expanding and telling their story. For me, the most important thing for telling a story is authenticity
Mhm.
and them just being honest with themselves and us. What do you feel is what you want from our guests?
Well, just like I said, I'm happy to share my dark times and wins and losses. And if we can get our guests to say the same things, the wins and losses in their life, and talk about how if a problem comes up, guess what men do? They fix problems. So let's talk about the solution to that problem, and hopefully someone doesn't have to go through a dark time because of what we're talking about in this room. I think that would be amazing.
The flip side of that too, let's get some people in to challenge us, challenge our opinions and
Yeah,
who
for
we are.
sure, for sure.
I want to hear different beliefs, different views.
Mm.
I want to be sitting here going, this kind of pisses me off. I don't really want to hear this right now,
Mm.
but I'm going to listen.
Yep.
And absorb and try and understand.
Yeah, so I was about 27 years old when I figured this out, but I was very stubborn beforehand. It was my way or the highway, and you were going to know about it. And I realized how wrong that is. Like, it wasn't until I got this idea of seats at the table. Like, everyone has an opinion, and everyone's entitled to it, and everyone should be able to state that if there's a subject at hand. And this is where I've realized where, oh, look, some of my beliefs and values can be changed because this person that sits here has a better take on life than what I had. So I'm now going to adopt that. And it's like going back to making my life better. Like, so I'm using this person's belief or value, instilling it in my life, making my life better, which gives that butterfly effect to people that are in my life, making their lives better, And the more people that we can have in here and challenge views and beliefs and even religions. I'd love to get someone in on religion as well, because I know that can be such a dark topic in some respects. But like, I have my views. I'm sure you have a view on it, and I'm just I'm so like ready to dive in with someone on it. So yeah.
So you can tell we're keen to sort of push ahead into our content, into our actual content depths.
Mm-hmm.
This is just an intro. We're just here to say, hey, this is our start. This is our beginning. This is us trying to figure out how to record an actual session without killing something, sending my phone crashing down, OBS crashing, anything going wrong.
Yep.
Save us from microphones.
Diving head first, trying to get this up off the ground. So
I love the idea of you integrating different points of view into yourself based upon their own merit. And I have a cool example for that. I think we might save that for another time.
Yeah, cool.
Because it was a challenge for me as a decision that might be a bit interpersonal for the blokes, but I took a lot of time on it, and I'm glad I did now. This podcast, to me, is kind of an interesting experiment. It sits close to my heart in a weird way. But I feel like for you, it's like lifeblood. It's like a fire. It's like it hits you and you're like, I want to do this. Do you want to maybe expand on that at all?
How so? What's the question?
There's no question.
No.
Just what is this?
What is this? It's just us talking about life.
That's perfect, isn't it? That's a perfect moment. We're not refined. We're not being anything other than authentic. And that's all it is.
Yep.
I've got questions and prep and all this junk. None of it actually matters because we're not following any of this. It doesn't matter. We're just here. I sort of pause and think about it. And this is something that we've been asked and something we've thought about. Where are we going? Like, where does you want this to be in a year? Like, what do you want? What level do you want this to be at in a year? Do you want to have it where we've shared our stories and we're getting people on regularly? Or do we want to maybe be learning and pushing ourselves?
I think all of it. I don't know. I was... that other question you had before, I was thinking about it, and we've been talking a lot about ourselves, which is a bit selfish almost, but also I want to say my passion for Bowen and the surrounds. Shout out Early Beach. No, Prosy and Air and everything around. I think anything that can sort of drive a bit more people here and stuff. I know this is a bit of small town, which I do love, so maybe stay down south or whatever. But no, just my passion for Bowen, getting the people in that are in the town and surrounds, and talking about the things that we face. So
I love that 180. We need more people, but Southerners.
Yeah, I don't know. I sort of hit the brake pedal there, didn't I?
Well, first you're in New South Wales football, but we don't want you coming here if you can avoid it, all right? This is our paradise, our home.
Yeah.
Someone who lived up in Cairns and the Tablelands and travelled around there. I would call that God's country, but we're pretty good on second here. We have much better beaches, though. Way better beaches and reef.
Oh, look, 13 beaches and 8 of them are award-winning.
It is. It's so good, isn't it? They don't have beaches up there. They got mud.
And
crocs. But you go up in the Daintree or out in the Tablelands and it's just...
No, it is beautiful.
There's nothing like it.
It is beautiful.
Now, for me, I actually wrote a lot of notes for this and I thought about it in depth. And this is going to sound a little blasé, but I don't really care about where this podcast goes in the next year.
Okay.
I care about where we go, where our listeners go, where anyone who cares to join us ends up. I want us all to improve, to maybe be more honest in our lives and stand up and show up in every way that matters, be it business, be it representing where you live. I mean, this area here, if ever you want to meet people who are emboldened and impassioned for the region, you're doing more events and things with your partner
It's
in
so true.
community stuff than I think I've seen anyone do. I've lived and breathed this community for longer than I care about. It's phenomenal now. We've got everything going ahead. We've got Sounds Good standing up and helping to make amazing events go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It's a story that we're writing as we live it.
Mm.
And in a year's time, I think if we're right here still telling that story, we're doing pretty bloody well.
Absolutely.
I've sort of thought about this, and I don't know where we'll end up or where we'll go, but I don't think there's much more that needs to be said in just introducing who we are and where we're at.
Yep.
Unless you've got anything you want to say.
No, not particularly. I'm excited for the first guest that we're going to have on. So, yeah, we'll explore the mind of how he works.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Some hints, some name dropping.
Are we?
Nah.
Are we allowed to?
Nah, probably not yet.
Okay.
But we'll. I think our first guest will be a really engaging one.
Yeah.
I look forward to the distinction and points of view between our own and maybe where they've ended up, because they're very different than us. This is sort of where we're starting, where we're beginning. I don't really have anything to say other than if any of this speaks to you or sounds good.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to these two idiots talk in a room in the dark.
Mm-hmm. With
Subscribe.
a flashlight on our faces.
Yeah, lighting today is actually a phone torch. I don't know if it's working, but it's working for us. We got this.
Hey, it's the little plant that's been from those seeds. So
we'll see how quickly we can kill our phones.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Check us out. Tune in next time. Share it with someone who you think might need to hear it in your lives, that there's people out there who are authentically either with you and going through it or have been through it and can maybe help or share a point of view or even just be there.
Mm-hmm.
We're not always going to be funny. We're not always going to be entertaining, but we're going to be real. And that's
Absolutely.
the important part.
We'll definitely try to be funny.
I mean, I hope so. If you can't be at least a little bit funny, you're struggling. You got to write some jokes. I don't really know. I'm not funny.
I'll go all right.
Could try to be.
I'm better at funny.
Off the cuff. It feels awkward in here. A little camera there to stare at and treat like an audience. I got to make sure I don't change up because I did radio a long time ago, and you get forced into this one mindset, and I think that's where we're at. We're getting out of that mindset to learn together. Anyway, check us out. We're in this together. We're figuring it all out from the ground up. I'm Calm.
And I'm Hogan.
Subscribe.
Bye, everybody.